Glenn Sachs at 910 Biffy. Thank you.
Hunter Armstrong from Dover, Ohio, will represent the U.S. on the men's Olympic swimming team. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
My little girl hurt her foot and needed a doctor fast, but her physician wasn't available, and I wanted her seen as soon as possible. Then I remembered the Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care, right in downtown Wheeling at the Stone Center on Market Plaza. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, the center is ideal if you have a sudden sickness or injury. The doctors and nurses were great, and they also provided x-rays, a pharmacy, and lab draw station. No appointments needed, and convenient parking is nearby. Wheeling Hospital Urgent Care. They'll take good care of you.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many.
Alrighty, thank you.
Your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is a big deal. Now, at healthcare.gov, millions more people can afford health coverage. Due to the COVID relief law, 4 out of 5 customers can get a plan for under $10 a month with financial help. From doctor visits to preventive services to prescription drugs, these are quality plans. You can do this. You can have coverage as soon as July 1st if you sign up now at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
The Ohio Valley Rib and Chicken Cook-Off is back, featuring the best ribs your taste buds can handle. Come on down to Wheeling's Heritage Port June 25th and 26th to see who can win the coveted Karen Bauer Trophy. Admission is free, so stop by for live music, free cornhole tournament, beer garden, and more. The Ohio Valley Rib and Chicken Cook-Off, June 25th and 26th at Wheeling's Heritage Port.
We can stop the spread of COVID with the COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine has been researched and tested. The vaccine is safe, and it works. All West Virginians age 12 and older can get a COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine is free, and it's available at clinics and pharmacies across West Virginia. Find a vaccine location near you. Visit vaccine.wv.gov today to get your free COVID-19 vaccine. Community immunity begins with you.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week, We'll see clouds, limited sunshine with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. Daytime high near 85. Chance of seeing those showers or storms through the evening, the overnight, with temperatures dipping down into the 60s for the overnight low. You'll see temperatures in the upper 60s for daytime highs for your Tuesday, with a few showers to start the day off, otherwise cooler with clouds and limited sunshine. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Do you know what today is?
Strike a pose. It's National Selfie Day.
What is that?
It's a Hallmark holiday for the digital age. National Selfie Day.
Take a selfie. Take a selfie.
So take a selfie. Take a selfie. Let's take a selfie.
Take a selfie. Take the selfie.
It's not a selfie if I take it.
Am I getting a selfie?
A selfie. Yes.
Say selfie. Selfie.
Okay, my friends, it's showtime.
Opinions, rants, commentary, and interviews. Plus, your complete morning news, weather, and sports. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe in the 100 Days of Summer.
You know, Biff, I have never been able to take a selfie. Can you take a good selfie?
No, I haven't even tried.
No, okay, don't try. I can't. There are people who are so good at that, you don't even realize it's a selfie, but, you know, they got their arm out and they can pose and they can. I can't even, when I try and do it, I can't even get my finger to hit the button that clicks the camera. I cannot take a selfie for anything. I don't know. I guess is it a function of age? I don't know. My daughter-in-law can just do the world's best selfies with she and my grandson and my son. I look at people online of these great selfies and I can't do it. I don't know what it is.
I think you answered it. That's who can take them. It's women. I think they take better selfies than men.
You might be right. They have a greater sense of what's the word I'm looking for here? They can frame a picture better and stuff. I just, invariably when I try and take a selfie, first of all, you got to hold it way out with your arm stretched out, and you can see my arm, and I literally can't reach the button. I tried it, I hold it, and then when I try and reach the button, my hand Anyway, National Selfie Day. If you can take selfies, good for you. It is going to be a muggy day today. Rain showers and storms are likely. High up to around 83 today. Tomorrow going to be a lot cooler tomorrow, but also still possibly rainy and muggy. A couple of good days in the middle of the week. Right now, 76 degrees and clear skies at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 76 degrees and cloudy here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. Where have we been and where are we going today? Real quick, Ogilvy lit up the mansion for Pride Month this week, and social media just went berserk down the rabbit hole. Why are you doing Pride Month? Why aren't you lighting them up for American veterans? Why aren't you lighting them up for the police? Why are you giving them, why are you giving them special treatment? I gotta stop reading the comments. I've got to stop reading the comments. A Bel Air cop fired after allegations of asking a woman for sex in exchange for not being arrested. New poll says 30% of Republicans think Trump will be reinstated this year. We have been ruminating on how that many people can come to such a bizarre belief when it clearly is. There's no mechanism for it to happen, even if you believe that it should. A lot of you are getting less money today than you were before because gubernatorial decisions were made to eliminate extended unemployment benefits as of this weekend in West Virginia, for example, which I find fascinating, Biff. The billionaire governor who is nearly bankrupt, who owes $1 billion, who doesn't pay his bills, he's cutting off the funding for people who actually are trying to make ends meet. It's absolutely staggering to me. Governor Justice, speaking of him, called lawmakers into special session this week. They're going to divvy up $250 million. We talked to State Senator Bill Ehlenfeld about that, as well as some very unusual appointments to the Public Broadcasting Board in the state. So that's where we have been and where we may be going before the day is over and done with. Lunch with Books is back live. A woman says she's in love with a UFO alien. Oh boy. And a possible cure for hiccups. I've got that coming up as well. But let's talk education for a minute or two. Glenn Sachs has been with us before. He is a teacher in the LA area. He has written extensively on education issues across the country, and we've talked to him before. And I brought him in this morning to talk about, well, I'm not exactly sure, Glenn, what it is I'm trying to talk about, because I don't understand what the claims are that so many conservatives are making about critical race theory and anti-American bias in schools and so on. I read the words and I don't get it.
Well, I don't think they really know what they're talking about either. I mean, it's being portrayed like critical race theory is the central thing that all of us educators are doing. I'm embarrassed to say that in all of the curriculum meetings I've been in and all the professional development, I've been a social studies teacher for almost 20 years. I've never heard it mentioned once. But if you listen to Trump or Florida Governor Ron DeSantis or Ted Cruz or any Republican who thinks they might be up for re-election in the next few years, you'd think that that's pretty much all we do in school. The bell rings in math class, it's critical race theory. Science class, it's critical race theory, et cetera, et cetera. You're right. It is bizarre.
There actually is something called critical race theory, but I don't even think that the conservatives who raise the objections, like the people you mentioned, Trump and Cruz and others, I don't think they even really mean critical race theory. And you follow this closer than I do, so you're welcome to tell me I'm wrong. I think they just don't like the fact that there is some discussion of real history in our schools these days.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And what's funny is that they're pushing a narrative that's really the opposite of the truth. They're talking about our schools. Trump says we're indoctrinating America's children with anti-American theories, et cetera, et cetera. I think in reality, it's the opposite. I think our textbooks whitewash a lot of the things that this country has done, particularly during our wars and interventions in foreign countries. They're upset that, I guess there's a discussion of making our textbooks, our curriculum more reality-based and telling a little, some of the uncomfortable truths about this country. And now they're going ballistic and they want patriotic education, and Trump is calling for, a special new curriculum and all sorts of limits on teachers, et cetera. Reflect this view that I think is just the opposite. I think we need to be questioning more about the system, not less, and I don't think there's enough questioning.
The reality is that American history, well, I shouldn't say American history, world history, but history, what's the old phrase, Glenn? It's written by the winners, and we don't get a true, complete overview of it. We did a whole show on this recently about, with one of our African-American preachers, the large numbers of African-American people, discoverers, inventors, and incidents that just get glossed over in our history books, in our history classes in general. I mean, if anything, I guess what I'm saying, if anything, it's not that we're spending too much time on it, it's that we don't tell the full truth enough.
Well, I think that's true. You say history is written by the winners. I mean, to me, a classic example of that, the textbook that we use for U.S. history in LA Unified School District, second largest school district in the country. If you look at the treatment of the Korean War, okay? I mean, we dropped more bombs on Korea than we did on Japan during World War II. 2.5 million Koreans died largely through American bombing. There's not a single mention of it. The word bomb is not in there. There's no casualty count for the Koreans. We extensively use napalm. The word napalm is not in the text. We're only told two things. We're told the American casualty count, and we're told that the war cost us $67 billion. And the 2.5 million Koreans who died, their cities completely flattened, are not even mentioned at all. It's exactly as you said. The winners write the history books. The winners talk about the things that are convenient for them, and the things that are not convenient are minimized, they're omitted, they're distorted, they're put out. And, the best way to kill something is not to attack it. The best way to kill something is to ignore it, right? The best way to take something off the table is not to attack it. It's just to pretend it never happened. And, that's what our history books do in some way.
Let me put my Trump hat on, and oh God, that burns my head. But let me put my Trump hat on for a minute. What you just said, that's anti-American. Why do you want to talk about the number of Koreans we killed? We won that war. That's anti-American to be talking that way. I mean, that's the kind of perspective that I think we're getting from the far right, is it not?
Well, I think it is. And, in your answer, if you just tell the truth, the truth's the truth, right? The truth's the truth. And
not anymore. That's the frightening thing. Yeah. Not anymore.
Yeah, maybe not. Like you listen to somebody like Sean Hannity, there aren't pro-American facts and anti-American facts. There's just facts, and you can, make a larger political interpretation as you will. But that actually happened, and that's what our children should be taught, because that is the truth.
In West Virginia this past year, and I don't believe it passed, but there was a part of a bill that was going to prohibit the teaching of, quote, divisive concepts. And that scared the hell out of me, because what are divisive concepts? I think behind it was we don't want to be teaching any of this stuff about how we had a racial divide in this country and those sorts of things. We don't want to have divisive concepts taught in school.
Well, I guess we can disagree as to what is divisive. I think what's divisive is that the average black family has 1/10 of the wealth of the average white family. I think what's divisive is that, as the United States deindustrialized, as we're stripped of our industrial base in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, something we never agreed to do, by the way. There was never an election. There was never a vote. Are we going to decide that we're going to deindustrialize the United States? As the United States was deindustrialized, a lot of whites were hurt. A lot of whites in small towns and big towns were hurt. But blacks were really hurt the worst, because there were so many blacks that had a working class industrial jobs. They were part of strong unions. Black men could support their families on these jobs. The blacks had a certain amount of power through the power of their unions. And all of that was destroyed. And so many towns that were vibrant black cities, like Detroit, Michigan, like Flint, Michigan, just turned into ghost towns. If you want to talk about something that's divisive, I think what's happened to black America, I think that's what's divisive. I don't think talking a little bit about it is divisive. I think the reality is divisive.
And I think an informed public needs to know all aspects of it. Although I think more and more people now recognize how we treated the Native Americans early in American history, that's often gotten short shrift as well. There's a lot of our history that we whitewash. And I didn't mean the pun when I said that, but that we whitewash. And again, it's an uninformed citizenry, or an improperly informed citizen, is a bad citizen, in my opinion.
Well, I think that's true, and there are certain things that are just so deliberately minimized. One of the things that's really minimized in our history books, and again, I use these every day. I teach from these. I see their faults as closely as anybody could. One thing that's minimized is the labor movement, the rise of the labor movement. That was the first racially integrated movement in American history, and it took millions of working class people, including my grandfather, and gave them a middle class standard of living. And most of it is just omitted from our history books. There's there to some degree. It's kind of a sterile thing, and kind of the idea that the government really helped, and very much minimizing the strikes, the sacrifices, the violence, all of that. It's just kind of cut out. We have, as you say, we have recognized what was done to the Native Americans, at least to a degree, blacks, at least to a degree. But as a general rule, the stuff that's inconvenient is, there's just not talked about all that much.
African American history, again, is not as aggressively taught as it should be. And if we don't believe that, we have just come through a weekend where we now celebrated a federal holiday called Juneteenth, and a lot of people are still scratching their heads going, what the hell is that? What? Why are we doing this? What is it? And of course, the really sad thing, I don't know whether to laugh or cry, Glenn, are the people who say, we already have a summer holiday, why do we need another one? It's like, oh my God, that's... that's just frightening. But
I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, but Juneteenth is a good example of it.
Yeah, I think that's true. And, there was so much controversy over the way the Civil War was taught and the Confederacy. And if you don't want a statue to Jefferson Davis, one of the most damaging traitors in all of American history, or Robert E. Lee or Stonewall Jackson, then, you hate America, you hate American history. Our point is not to not talk about American heroes. Let's get the right heroes, okay? The heroes weren't Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. The heroes were Ulysses S. Grant and Abraham Lincoln and Robert Shaw, who led the Massachusetts Colored 54th, black troops fighting, some key battles in the South. I mean, there were so many people who did so many great things in the war on slavery, white and black, white abolitionists, black abolitionists. Let's talk about them. And your state, of course, is an example of that too. When refused to go along with the Confederacy in the Civil War. It's not a matter of saying that there are no heroes in American history. There are plenty of heroes, but let's talk about the right ones. Let's not make heroes out of people whose role was negative or reactionary or racist. Let's honor the correct heroes.
And some folks don't even want the positive side of this stuff to be shown. The story a month or so ago, well, it was Veterans Day, I think it was, in Ohio, I think a retired Air Force officer, I believe he was Air Force, was speaking at a Veterans Day ceremony. And in his speech, he began talking about the contribution made by African Americans after the African American military folks after the Civil War, and they cut his microphone when he started talking about that. They didn't want people to hear that.
Wow! And this was in Ohio.
That was in Ohio. Yeah, the Legion was that what they call it, chapter was. I don't know. They lost their charter, and the person who did it was removed and so on. But yeah, I mean, this guy he's an Air Force officer, retired, and he's talking about veterans, and he says, and let's not forget the African American veterans of the Civil War who helped helped win that war. And they cut him off. They cut his microphone so it couldn't be heard. I mean, again, this is the world we live in, where if we just don't hear something, we believe, if we just can stop people from hearing it, then they won't know about it, which I guess to some extent is true. Glenn, let me ask you, you're a teacher in the LA Unified District. You have been an outspoken teacher. You've written extensively about education issues. But education across the country does seem to be under attack in so many places. Don't you get frustrated and want to hang it up and go be an accountant or something some days?
Well, I mean, no, my job's great. I love my job. Yeah, I love the subject. I love the kids. There's, nothing else I'd rather be doing. But yeah, I mean, it does get frustrating sometimes. And I think there's so many people, they don't know anything about the nuts and bolts of what it's like to do our jobs. And, that's fine that they don't know, but, when you see, particularly on Fox News, so many of our Republican friends just, bloviating, attacking teachers, et cetera, they have no idea what it's like to do our job. And, it's okay that they don't know, but if you don't know, why are you speaking about it? I don't know how to be a ballerina, so I don't pontificate on what ballerinas should or shouldn't be doing. And these people really have no idea. And, we got an enormous amount of attacks over distance learning during COVID. Before that, we had a major strike here in Los Angeles, a strike we won, where we had a tremendous amount of criticism over it. The teachers' unions are continually attacked. I think people really have, there's just a lot of ignorance about it. I guess that's what I can say. And the voices of teachers, the voices of classroom teachers, really are not heard enough.
What I always am amazed, though, Glenn, at no matter who you talk to, I believe 100%, maybe 99.9% of the people you talk to will have a story about a teacher or several teachers that were so critical in their lives and helped them along the way, and how much they respected and appreciated these teachers. And those same people will then turn around and criticize teaching and teachers in general. But they all have a story about how teachers were so critical in their lives, but everybody else's teacher is bad.
Well, it's interesting you say that. Along those lines, they've done opinion polls and surveys, and most parents are happy with their kids' teachers. Most parents are happy with their kids' schools. Most parents have a positive view of their own children's schools, yet at the same time, the overall public perception of schools is negative. So really, what happens is that with these parents, the schools they actually know something about, where their kids go, so they know something about them. They think they're good, but the schools as a whole that they know nothing about, they think they're bad. It makes no sense, and it's kind of like what you're saying. And I think that's just part of it because of the overall attacks on teachers, public education, teachers unions, etc. The public is given a negative impression, but when they actually interact with teachers, interact with schools, their impression is usually positive.
Yeah, that's always been my experience. It's sort of been my experience personally, but I mean, that's been my experience in talking to others. And your point is well taken. When you know something, you see the value in it because you understand what's happening. When you don't, and you're just talking about a sort of a broad stare, I mean, I don't want to get too. Somebody will take offense at this. When you have, quote, when you have black friends, you have a better understanding of the black lifestyle. If you don't, they just, the guys I know, they're good people. It's all those other African Americans we don't like. It's just, you're right. The closer we get to something, the better we understand it. Which I guess is, there's a lesson there somewhere. I just don't know quite what it is.
Well, sometimes I'm on radio shows and people are bashing immigrants endlessly, and I just, almost all my students are the children of immigrants, and I often feel like, if you knew these kids, if you knew their families, you would just see them as, hardworking Americans, good working people like you, and you wouldn't have any problem with them. But as long as they're the other, as long as they're the they, as long as they're people you don't know and don't interact with, it's very easy to just kind of fall into negative stereotypes that you're fed.
Absolutely. Glenn, appreciate your time this morning. It's always good talking to you. Glad we had a chance to chat about some of these issues. We should do it more often.
My pleasure, sir.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Glenn Sachs is with us. You can check him out at glennsachs.com, glennsachs.com. He's got a lot of columns and commentary. He writes fairly extensively on the national scene. He's been on Fox and CNN, and he does a lot of representing of the teachers' side of the issue. He is a teachers' union rep. He is a teacher, and pretty aggressive in his point of view. So I every once in a while I like to have him on to talk about something, and he and I got chatting off air about this whole issue of critical race theory, and Trump saying that the anti-American bias is being taught in schools, and the efforts being made in West Virginia. I believe Ohio has a similar bill pending to not teach divisive concepts. Divisive concepts is what helps us become a better society. When we look at the things that are creating conflict and we discuss them, that's what helps become a better society. Oh, well. You know what else makes you a better person, Biffy?
What's that?
A slushie. You like slushies?
Who doesn't like slushies?
Since we're speaking about teachers here, I should point out, beginning today, the local McDonald's restaurants all throughout the tri-state area are offering a deal for teachers of a slushie. If any teacher wants to get a slushie and bring it to me, it'd be okay. I particularly like their pink lemonade slushie. Oh, it's so good. Today through Saturday, teachers can enjoy a free, small, Minute Maid slushie. You have to buy anything at McDonald's, a $1 purchase, and then you get a free slushie to go along with it if you're a teacher. That's true of all the McDonald's restaurants in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Maryland through this coming Saturday. So if you want to get a free slushie, go buy a $1 item off the menu and then get a free slushie if you're a teacher. It's all part of what McDonald's calls their McDonald's Community Champion Program. And I think it's a pretty good deal. Russ Stoltz from the McDonald's locally says, we're honored to show teachers how much they are appreciated. Man, I love me a slushie. I really do. And pink lemonade is what I like to get over at McDonald's. They've got that. My son and daughter-in-law yesterday, Biffy, or my daughter-in-law got for my son for Father's Day a snow cone making machine. Oh, I can't wait till they get that baby up and running.
That thing will get a lot of use.
You betcha. Teddy will be using it. They'll be using it. But Granddad will be down there, too. I love snow cones. I love snow cones, slushies, all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's great stuff. All right, 9:35, 25 till the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Got some odds and ends I want to get to, including a new way to cure hiccups and interesting political poll. We've done a couple political polls already today, but an interesting political poll on the possible presidential election. It's coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. We are WKKX and WVOY.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
If I can take a break here after I do a couple things, if you want me to. Okay. I heard you getting those vaccine spots in. I appreciate that.
Beat the Sixers in Philly 103-96 to win that best of 7, 4-3. The Hawks now advance to the Eastern Conference Finals to play the Milwaukee Bucks. And Phoenix defeated the LA Clippers 120-114 to lead that best of 7, 1-0. In golf, John Rahm wins the U.S. Open on Father's Day. Hey, be safe. Be considerate of others. Check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
The Variety Show with Bill DeFabio is live on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We talk to some of the region's best business owners while keeping you informed about area events and happenings. You won't believe who I have on next. Tune in and get with the program. Guests from preachers to pros and even some Super Bowl champions. Join me, Bill DeFabio, from noon to 2 for the Variety Show on the Watchdog.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time. Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Menards has everything you need to make your home a better place to live. Save big money on all the top products from Procter & Gamble, like Tide laundry detergent, Downy fabric softener, Bounty paper towels, and more. Right now, get 11% off all Procter & Gamble products. Get 11% off everything. Now at Menards. Good through June 26th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Value starts here at your Toyota dealer with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out a RAV4 with up to $750 cash back, or an all-wheel drive Venza Hybrid now with $1,000 cash back, or go with a Highlander now with $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great deals. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end July 6th. Toyota, let's go places.
We can stop the spread of COVID with the COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine has been researched and tested. The vaccine is safe, and it works. All West Virginians age 12 and older can get a COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine is free, and it's available at clinics and pharmacies across West Virginia. Find a vaccine location near you. Visit vaccine.wv.gov today to get your free COVID-19 vaccine. Community immunity begins with you.
WKKX and WVLY voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook. Procter. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Procter trusts the Watchdog.
You can watch a video cast of our show every morning on Facebook Live or on our website. Plus, check archives of all of our videos on the Watchdog YouTube channel. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Basket full of sandwiches and wieners, then lock close up, now you're set. And on the beach you'll see the girls in their bikinis, as cute as ever, but they never get 'em wet. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy
Oh, the lazy, hazy days of summer. They officially begin now. Today is the first full day of summer, meteorological summer. Came in last night at 11:32, and we're enjoying summertime today officially. I've been counting the 100 days of summer since Memorial Day. That's my 100 days of summer goes from Memorial Day to Labor Day, that long, lazy stretch of summertime. I do love summer. But it's a warm morning this morning, 76 degrees at the airport, 76 degrees here at my home studios, slightly overcast outside. We are going to look for a very muggy day, a rainy day, maybe a shower, could even be a severe storm a little bit later on today. So be prepared for the mug and the rain. 83 is the predicted high. I've said all morning, I did it for Baby Dog. I went online and I got registered. I did it for Baby Dog. Baby Dog didn't do it for me yesterday. I was there waiting for the governor to show up, waiting for the announcement of the Baby Dog contest winners. And I thought, this is it. It's my turn. No, not me. Not Biff.
Nope.
We didn't get $1 million. Didn't get a gun. Didn't get a truck. Didn't even get a hunting license or a fishing license, Biff.
Not even a getaway to one of the parks or wherever they were giving the getaways to.
Got nothing. I did it for Baby Dog, but Baby Dog didn't do it for me. Baby Dog did do it for Karen Foley from Mineral Wells. She was the $1 million winner in the Do It for Baby Dog contest yesterday, and she will be on with Hoppy Kercheval today to talk about her winnings. Wonder if she was smart enough to do the things we've always said we would do if we won the lottery, Biff.
I'll make those appropriate phone calls and
Yes,
whatever
exactly.
else.
Get the lawyer, get the financial advisor in there real quick. Let's see. Ralph Paugh, P-A-U-G-H, I hope I pronounced it right. Ralph Paugh of Parkersburg. He was a truck winner. And Rebecca Osborne of Hurricane was a scholarship winner. All three of them will be on today with Hoppy Kercheval after the 10:06 at 10:06 once the statewide talk line begins. Also today, Hoppy's going to be looking at the 5th anniversary of the big flood, which you just heard a little bit in Metro News' report, and several folks are going to be on to talk about that with Hoppy coming up today. And so that's what's coming up today. Statewide talk line with Hoppy. I am hoping, I have a tentative for tomorrow that I was going to be today and then get pushed back to tomorrow. I have not heard a firm confirmation. I want to talk about Bigfoot. There is a Bigfoot museum in West Virginia. Sasquatch, Bigfoot. There is a Bigfoot museum and a Bigfoot festival coming up this month. And they got Bigfoot experts. And people that are going to talk about Bigfoot. I'm trying. We thought we were going to have it yesterday, or today, and it got canceled, got pushed back to tomorrow. So I'm hoping we'll talk about Bigfoot tomorrow here on the show. 12 before the hour. Biff, everybody knows. If you go online and Google something, Google keeps track of that. They keep track of everything that anybody asks, right? So I thought this was interesting, and somehow I picture people Googling, really important things. What is critical race theory? Something like that. But Google has just come out with the list of the most Googled questions of the last 15 years. And do you know what the number one most asked question of Google was in the last 15 years, Biff?
What is the price of gas?
That's actually a pretty good guess. No, the number one thing people went on Google to ask, what time is it?
Why?
Do you not have a watch?
Do you not have a cell phone?
Don't you have a phone? Isn't there a clock on your wall someplace? The number one thing that people were Googling in the past 15 years was, what time is it?
I mean, you don't
I'm thinking they're going to be Googling critical race theory or the coronavirus pandemic or how to protect yourself from COVID-19. No. What time is it? We have this unbelievable internet that we can get all the information in all the world and human history. We can get it from this internet thingy. And we're asking, what time is it? And number 2, in the last 15 years, most Googled questions, how to tie a tie. How to tie a tie. We have just come through Father's Day. Didn't fathers teach kids how to tie ties?
My father taught me how to tie one.
Mine taught me how to tie one.
I
taught my boys how to tie their ties.
I had a buddy I went to school with that he didn't know how to tie it, so he tried to leave it in a knot like all year.
Yeah.
And of course, the friends that I had in high school, they would mess with him and they would pull the tie to try and get the knot out because they knew he couldn't tie it. So they knew that if they did that he would have to go back and get it tied again. So yeah, that's
cruel friends. You have cruel friends.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff that they pulled.
So the number 1 most Googled question of the past 15 years, what time is it? Number 2, how to tie a tie. Number 3, how to kiss. Now, I don't think Google can really tell you. I think it's just, I don't know. I should Google that because I'm curious what Google would tell me how to kiss is, what the answer to that is. I think you just got to it's sort of like a trial and error thing. You know what I'm saying, Biffy?
Yeah, you might want to be careful with Google on that one.
Number 4 of the 5 most asked questions of the past 15 years. I understand the intent of the question, but the way it's phrased makes me laugh. Number 4, where am I?
Where? Okay.
Now, I get that probably it means, you're out in the world someplace and you're just not quite sure where you are, but where am I? I've asked that a few times. I've woken up a few times in the old days where it's like, where am I? And then number 5, just kind of weird, how many ounces in a cup? Again, when I saw this, I thought, all right, what are the things we're asking Google? I would think we would be asking Google really important questions. What is the square root of the hypotenuse of an isosceles triangle? Something, anything. Number 1 question. What time is it? Hey, you know what time it is, Biffy?
Time to head to Channel 7?
You got that right. Time to talk to Bob Westfall. Bob, good morning, sir.
Morning, Howard. How are you?
I am good. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thank you much. I do have a question.
Yes.
Well, actually, I have a statement. Biff, your friends and my friends would have got along really well.
Okay.
Yeah, because we probably done the same thing. And Howard, internet thingy, is that a technical term?
It is. My son is a very high person in IT, these days. And he tells me that internet thingy is the phrase we should use. Yes, exactly. Right.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to check, make sure we're on the same page on that one because
the internet thingy, absolutely.
I mean,
hey, Bob, before we go on, and I just a real quick condolences on the passing of your mom.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate everybody that's reached out to me and everything like that. So thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate that. Really some great people that I work with and things like that. So thanks. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about what you're working on today.
All right. A couple big things today. Vice President Kamala Harris is in Pittsburgh. She is going to be traveling to Pittsburgh. Talk a couple things. She's going to be talking on child credit, tax credit awareness day. So we'll be talking about that. Also, she'll be having a roundtable with local business leaders. Again, dealing with the infrastructure that has kind of been being held up, discussed, and things like that. So anyway, Vice President will be in Pittsburgh later this afternoon. So we will have an update on that as things go on. Also, East Ohio Regional Hospital is officially going to have their ribbon cutting officially reopened. So one of those good success stories. A hospital gone for just over a year. People have stepped in, stepped up, and it's big enough that it's brought U.S. Congressman Bill Johnson, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine to take part in the celebration. So we're really excited about something on that. So that takes place this morning. DK and Danny Maris are over there right now. So we'll have that. We'll have it live at noon, and then we'll have them later again at 5 and 6. Let's see what else we got.
I know you and I have talked about this before, Bob. The resurgence of East Ohio Regional Hospital was an absolutely phenomenal story. It's just a phenomenal story. Who would have thought when OVMC and East Ohio went out of business that East Ohio would come back so strong?
I mean, it is truly, truly amazing. So, so a building that was literally shuttered is back being an important part of the community. I come down Route 7, past it every day, and I have to think twice when I see an ambulance. Where are they going? And then it's like, oh, well, they're open again. So, yeah, I think they're reopened. We're also going to talk to one of the local winners of the baby dog sweepstakes from this weekend. We're going to talk to him this afternoon. As you know, the state's birthday was yesterday, but was also gift today, vaccine day. So we've got winners all over the state. We're going to talk to one of the local ones, one of them this afternoon. So we're excited about that as well.
I've been saying all morning long, I did it for Baby Dog, but Baby Dog didn't do it for me.
Yeah, it let you down, didn't he?
He did.
Or she did. Okay.
What is Baby Dog? Is it a he or a she? I don't know, actually.
It's a she, right?
It's a she.
Don't tell me a she. Come on, Howard, do your due diligence.
I should have done that. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just don't know.
A couple other things, couple lighter things we're working on is we've got a gentleman that's about to give his 1,000th blood donation this afternoon. I'm kind of excited about that one.
Nice.
So we're going to try and get something on that. I mean, 84 years old, and he's about to give his 1,000th blood donation.
Wow.
That's incredible. So we've got that.
It is.
What's that?
I said it is. That is incredible, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, keeping track of weather. I don't want to say smooth sailing, some maybe showers during the day, at least according to Zach this morning. I think the heavier stuff is later this early evening and then later into the night. But Zach and Dr. Dave are keeping track of that as well. So we're keeping track of that. The Buccos actually take a series from the Indians. How surprising is that? Over the weekend. So we'll be looking at sports as well. So a little bit of everything today.
All right, we'll look for things at noon, 5, 6, 10, 11, 5:30, always the statewide show. And, of course, we'll find interesting stuff at WTRF.com. The key thing is, I was talking this morning, Bob, I read the really nice story you guys did about Ogilvy lighting up for Pride Month.
Yes.
I made a mistake. I read the comments.
Yeah, never read the comments.
Gotta stay away from those comments. But you can find good stuff at WTRF.com. Just with no offense to TRF, just maybe sometimes stay away from the comments. That'll drive you crazy.
Yeah, don't read the comments. Because no matter where you come down on it, somebody somewhere is going to be not happy with something. So
it's just going to irritate you, and you're going to get your blood pressure up. And I know, my age with my health, I can't afford to get my blood pressure up, so I don't know why I do it. All right, Bob, appreciate talking to you. Good to have you with us. We'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Talk to you guys later. Thank you.
All right. Bob Westphal from the Big 7, WTRF TV, checking in this morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Well, it's time for me to say sayonara, see you, bye-bye, farewell. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Kirchhoff's got the calm coming up next. And as for me, good Lord willing, creeks don't rise, bat phone doesn't ring. Don't get impeached. Don't retire. Ticker keeps on ticking. Don't eat more than I should. And Teddy says, it's all right. You can go back to work tomorrow, Granddad. I'll return tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, another go-round of the big gig. Are you back with me, Brother Biff?
I am here for a Tuesday.
We'll keep on doing it until we get it right.
That could be a long time.
Indeed.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
I'm Sherry.
All right, Biffy. We made it through. Wasn't too bad today. Some interesting stuff, I think. So we made it. I've got Squiddy Airy tomorrow, and I don't know with these Bigfoot people. They seemed real aggressive and happy to come on when I talked to them, and I said, I think we can do it Monday because I really wanted to do it today. And then they said, we're doing a TV interview on Monday. Okay, can you not do 2 interviews in a day? So I'm trying for tomorrow because Bigfoot could be kind of fun. We haven't done any goofy stuff for a while, so I thought maybe Bigfoot. But if not, we'll do something else. I don't know what. And it usually does. I think I told you last week, the only problem is Brad's on vacation this week. He's always mine. When I got nothing else, call Brad. I can get him to come on. I can't call him this week because he's on vacation. So I was actually thinking about that. I could get Hoppy to come on. I haven't done that for a while. So we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Yeah, they're becoming really good, a good resource. I'm really glad I stumbled across them. Of course, Jake used to be in West Virginia, so I knew him from West Virginia. Made it easier to reach out to him. And then once he was on, his colleagues were more willing to come on, so that worked out pretty well. And they do a good job of covering, the interesting stories. That's what I like. It's not just the little stuff. They do the interesting stuff. So you're right. I could use them too. All right. I should be, Teddy's here today. He's here all week. He's off camp this week. So I think I'm going to go play Mario. Apparently I hear the sound of Mario in the other room, but I will be around if you need me or anybody needs me. Just give me a call. Yeah, unfortunately I will, but and then I will get yelled at for doing it, and he'll put me in a bubble. Granddaddy, I'm putting you in a bubble. You just follow me. All right, Biff. Thanks for your help as always. I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye.
His business needs a stronger foundation.
Cut the saw, all right? Just one sec. Bow's Builders, this is Bow. This weekend? Yeah, we can do it.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
A judge in Georgia today will hear arguments over a lawsuit alleging election fraud in Fulton County, home to more people than any other county in the state. 9 people bringing the suit claim there were bogus ballots and improper counting in the November election. Fulton County and the County Election Board filing motions to have the suit dismissed. Iran's new president already drawing a red line when it comes to the idea of a meeting with President Biden. ABC's Jordana Miller is in the region.
Iran's president-elect expressing hardline views in his first press conference since winning